friend of mine asked me recently, how do I start my day? What's a good way to start my day right? So this friend also has 2 young children, a 5-month-old baby boy and a 5-year-old as well. So I wanted to give something really practical today, something very simple but also very profound. If you have the time, of course, you can meditate, you can do some journaling, you can have this kind of miracle morning routine. But I know for most of us that's not really practical. So this thing I wanted to share today is really simple. It might sound a little bit contrived to begin with, but stick with me, stick with it, give it a try. The science is there to back it up. So basically this is very simple. All you have to do is when you wake up in the morning, maybe before you get out of bed, before your feet touch the ground, showing a little bit of compassion and loving kindness towards yourself. That is how you start the day off right. Instead of starting in these old patterns of judgment and criticism, the inner self-talk that we often don't notice, that sets our day off in a certain way. So to break through that and to cultivate this practice of self-compassion, a really simple practice to do is when you wake up, put hand on your heart, on your chest, and there is a reason to do this. It's a physical anchor and it produces oxytocin. Okay, so there is a reason to just place your hand on your heart or your chest and just say good morning to yourself. So good morning, Steph. Really, really simple. This starts in a way where we cut through the self-judgment. We just take a pause in the morning and we greet ourselves first thing, sending a little bit of love and compassion and kindness before our brains or our minds go into that spiral of judgment and criticism, which happens so often. So just taking that pause to say good morning to yourself. If you want to be a bit braver, you can find a phrase that works for you, like good morning, you're freaking awesome, or good morning, I'm excited for today. Good morning, I love you. And it may feel and sound very contrived to start with, but there's a lot of, what you practice grows stronger. So we are interrupting that usual process of just going and going and going and not pausing. First off, we're starting our day with a pause, with a moment for ourselves. And this is the idea of neuroplasticity, right? We are starting to cultivate self-compassion and love and kindness towards ourselves. And you can take my word for it, or you can use yourself as an experiment. A lot of mindfulness and meditation is not about the concept or the theory of it, but it's really about practicing it and having that direct experience for yourself. So what I say is give it a try. Try it for a period of time that feels reasonable for you, whether that's a week, and then review and do another week and another week. Maybe you don't expect to feel magically floaty and amazing on the first day, but as I say, it is more about cultivating that kind attitude towards ourselves, and that has an impact on the rest of our lives as well. It starts to cut through some of that judgment. It's like the judgment and the self-criticism at the moment is the highway. It's the fast route. It's the way that our brains go. We're so used to it. We've paved that road. And with these practices, we start to open up another road. So we have to remember there's another way to go. We start clearing the path for this new road, this new direction for our brain and our mind to go in that way. So it's a very simple practice, but over time it can be very, very profound. So give it a go.